Alright, in today's video we're going to take a look at the RG280M. This is the latest release from Anbernic. This is their smaller, more pocket-friendly version of the RG350M, which they released earlier in the year. This is a more pocket-friendly and more economical, but there are some takeaways from it and differences between the RG350M. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So first of all, the 280M is retail priced at about $97, where the RG350M is retail priced about $110. The 280M supports a 2.8-inch IPS display screen with a resolution of 320 by 480. The RG350M has a 3.5-inch IPS display with a resolution of 640 by 480. Both of them have fantastic screens in my opinion. However, I do think the 280M does have a much more saturated color spectrum on its screen, so it does look a little bit different than the RG350 when they're held side by side. Both of them have the exact same processing power inside. Both of them have the exact same battery inside. The RG350 up top, we've got our two USB ports. We got one for charging and one for OTG. We got our 3.5mm headphone jack, and we've got HDMI out. Whereas on our RG280M, we have both the USB ports, the OTG and the charging, the 3.5mm headphone jack, but there is no HDMI out port here. So there's no HDMI out function on the 280. So that is something you lose if you go for the little more pocket-friendly design. Also on the front, you'll obviously notice we've got two analog sticks on the RG350M, whereas the 280M only has the single analog stick. And the single analog stick is, oddly enough, it's slightly off-center. You see there, whereas the 350M, it is dead center. So I'm sure there's a reason why they had to do that as far as putting it in this smaller, more compact shell, but overall that's a little strange to see them just throw that off to the side. They've relocated some of the buttons. So on the 280M we got the select and the start over here, and the RG350 we have select and start up top. The button quality, the analog sticks, the D-pad, everything is identical between both of these units. So if you're familiar with the RG350M, you're going to be equally familiar with this 280M. A couple other small changes they've done. We've got the battery light indicator here on the left hand, kind of built into the screen, whereas on the RG350M, it's actually right here in the corner. And then on the sides, so the 280M, we have the power on the left hand side. On the 350, we have the volume up and down on the left side, and then we go over to the right, we have the volume on the right side of the 280M, and then on the 350 we have the power button. So it's a little backwards for each of those, and then the bottom, it's the exact same thing. You've got two micro SD card slots, one for adding your own ROMs. This does come with a preloaded SD card with all sorts of games on it, but you can also add more to them should you wish. We also have the dual stereo speakers and the reset button. Now, in terms of playability, everything that you can play on the RG350M, you can also play on the 280M. Because honestly, it is the exact same processing, everything inside the internals, everything's going to be the same except for the screen, the second analog stick, and the HDMI out. That's your core differences in a nutshell. So this is going to be able to play everything from your old classic consoles. We've got MAME, we've got DOSBox, we've got Final Burn Alpha, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, NES, Sega Genesis, Open Bore, WonderSwan, Super Nintendo, TurboGrafx, PlayStation 1, Pico Drive, Neo Geo, and there's also some built-in computer port games and some custom games that are built. And then you can easily go to your settings, your applications, and there's actually a couple extra emulators that you can find online to add to this. But overall, gotta say, it's fantastic little build quality, but at the end of the day, the only reason you would pick this up is if for whatever reason you think this RG350M is too big for your pocket, because they're identical in every single way for the most part as far as what they play. You lose that analog stick, you lose the HDMI out port, and you get a smaller screen. So for some people that might be a worthwhile trade, because again, this is a bigger device, so it's not as easy to fit in your pocket. But honestly, when you hold them next to each other, it's not a massive scale down difference. But for just somebody this this may be a great option, because this is going to be definitely something you can easily slide in a front pocket. But as far as they're looking at them like this from the top down, they have the exact same dimensions as far as how tall they are, so you're not gaining anything as far as height, you're only gaining anything as far as the width and the length overall of the unit. But let's go ahead and show some emulation and test, just make sure everything runs as smoothly as it should. And as you can see, everything performs quite well. Now, if you want to win this exact unit, I'll be giving it away to one lucky viewer. All you have to do is like this video, share this video with your friends, and comment down below. Let me know what your favorite retro game is to play. I'll pick one lucky viewer at random, and I'll ship this to you free of charge. So, appreciate everybody watching this video, and as always, thanks for watching, guys. It really means a lot.